Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today it is our weekly Q&A session. By the way, if you guys do want your questions answered, make certain to leave your question underneath this video and I will answer them next week. So, question number one is, how many articles do I need? Now, I'm going to assume that the person that asked this was asking about like how to gain topical authority, which I did cover in last week's video. But in some cases, you might actually not need as many articles as you think you need. So, for example, you can get better backlinks than your competitors. A good way of actually figuring out how many articles roughly you need is, let's say, for example, if we were to take a look at chiropractor industry, right? Chiropractor, and if we were going to do chiropractors in New York, so you can take a look at your competitors. So if we just copy the URL of these guys, and if we do site colon, as you can see here, it has got approximately 105 pages that you need, or I say 105 pages that you need. Take that with a pinch of salt, because in some cases you might not actually need as many. Like, for example, if you actually start doing a little bit of digging into this website, what you will typically find is that they will have some deadweight pages. And what I mean by deadweight pages is it's not actually helping with the topical authority. So, for example, the virtual office tour, for example, that's not going to help them rank higher in terms of topical authority. It might help with the EAT side of stuff, but on the grand scheme of things, if you have a virtual office tour or if you don't have a virtual office tour, it's not going to be the breaking point of you ranking position 1 or you ranking position 15. So in some cases, this is what I mean. You might not need as many articles as you possibly think. Obviously, you can do competitor research. One thing I do always recommend is just doing a site colon and then putting the website domain or the competitor website here. And if you just click on tools, it will show you in the right hand side how many web pages they have indexed. So, for example, if 3 of your competitors have an average of, let's say, 99 pages indexed, does that mean you need 99 pages? Typically not. There's obviously other things that you can do to improve the rankings of your website. That being said, you might end up focusing a little bit more time and effort on building links back to your website, like the off-page SEO of your website. Another thing that you can focus on is the citations. How many citations are actually citing your website? Another thing that you can also focus on is the Google Business Profile as well, because again, if you are a brand new website or if you're a brand new business, you can get Google Business page traffic a lot quicker than website traffic in some cases. Again, it depends on the industry, but there's some very quick wins that you can obviously do. And again, also, if you're trying to rank for the main keyword, let's say chiropractor in New York, or let's say accountant in New York, try to go after some secondary keywords as well. So, for example, you might be able to rank really well for chiropractors for ADHD, or accountants for law firms, for example, or accountants for entrepreneurs. You might be able to rank for those style of keywords a lot quicker than the actual location that you're trying to rank for as well. So I'm hoping that answers your question on how many articles do I need. There isn't just a set amount of saying, right, you need 45.28 articles to rank your website, because if that was the case, we would all be ranking. How many internal links should each page have? Now, again, this probably not the answer that you want. You probably want like a set 15 internal links for each page, and it's not actually the case. The reason for that is it's very hard for me to understand what type of website that you have. I'll try to answer this as best as I possibly can. But let's say, for example, if you are a small service pay or a small business and you might have, let's say, 25, 30 pages, all of those pages could internally link to one another and you're probably not going to go wrong, right? Whereas if you have quite a big affiliate website, because again, like some of you guys that watch me, some of you guys have big affiliate websites, some of you guys are just starting out, and some of you guys have e-commerce stores, right? So I need to, when I answer these questions, I need to try and tailor the question to fit all of you guys, and sometimes it's not just clear cut, right? So if, say, for example, you've got a small business, and you have, let's say, 20, 30 pages live, you can't really go wrong with your internal linking. As long as everything has some internal links, then brilliant. Whereas if you have got an affiliate website, and potentially you have been hit by HCU or you've been demoted a couple positions by like the recent core algorithm updates, one thing to check is how strong are your internal links to your most important pages. And what I mean by that is if we take a look at this SERP here, best credit cards Canada, I'll show you guys a good example of somebody that does do a very good job of their internal linking. Is it NerdWallet that I'm thinking of? It might be. Yeah. So if you take a look at their credit card silo, right? Obviously, NerdWallet, they talk about a variety of different industries. They talk about credit cards, they talk about mortgages, banks, investing, personal loans, personal finance. But let's just take a look at their credit cards. Now, they strategically internal link to the most important pages to then distribute the internal link power, and without like going into extreme details, because I actually do this on a lot of consultancy calls with clients and stuff, is you need to first of all identify how big your website is. If you only have, like, let's say a 20, 30 page site, this is probably a little bit overkill. Maybe skip this section of the video. But if you guys have quite a bigger website, maybe you talk about a variety of different industries, focus on internally linking to your most important pages that pass the most amount of internal link juice and internal link equity down to pages that earn you the most money. So what I mean by that, right, is these guys, they're never going to rank for credit cards, right? That's clear as day. NerdWallet will never rank for just the keyword credit cards, because you're probably going to, like, just by searching credit cards, you're probably going to get the likes of Wikipedia and stuff ranking for that, right? Credit cards, right? Okay, you get banks, right? So NatWest in comparison to NerdWallet in comparison to banks is quite a hard SERP to go after, right? So they've internally linked to the credit cards page on their website, knowing that they're never going to rank for it, but they have got a lot of internal link power pushing through to the pages that earn the most money. So, like, for example, best Canadian cards. This page will probably earn this website $20,000-$30,000 a month easily. If it is ranking in the money making positions, position 1, position 2, position 3, right? But they internally link back to the credit card section of their website in the breadcrumb section. So Google just crawling this page or crawling this website overall, it understands that the credit card subfolder is super important. So there's a lot of internal link power going through to this page. So if you guys do have an affiliate site, or let's say even an e-commerce site as well, stuff like breadcrumbs helps big time. Obviously, internally linking contextually within the content, that always helps. So you can never really go wrong with that. Let's see if these guys actually do any of that. Yeah, they do. Obviously, they do. So they are internally linking to a page called "What is a credit card?" How do credit cards work in Canada, minimum payment, etc. So there isn't a set number, but I'm hoping that this is kind of opens your mindset on how you should be internally linking. Like, for example, again, if we go back to the credit card section on this website, everything that you should know about credit cards is within 1 or 2 clicks of this /credit card section. So from an internal linking point of view, and also from a usability and just a friendly user experience point of view, this website makes like a lot of sense. So highly recommend checking them out. Go and check out NerdWallet. Their internal linking's really, really good. So I'm hoping that has answered your question as well. How do I rank images? So I actually spoke about this in yesterday's video, but just to recap, don't just be uploading your images as DCIM.png or 554.png. Actually look to rename them. If you can rename them, and also if you can brand them up. So what I mean by branding them up is if you are just using stock images, the last thing you want to be doing is just uploading a stock image that Google's seen 5,000 times. Try to add your branding to that image. Try to add in the keyword into that image. Obviously rename the file. So don't just upload it as DCIM442.png. Upload it as, I don't know, if it's a picture of a orange leather wallet, rename the image to orange leather wallet, or if it's a branded wallet, it might be, I don't know, orange Tommy Hilfiger leather wallet, and you will see an improvement in your rankings. Apart from that, images it's not that difficult right now to rank. There's not that many people actually worrying about images as such. You can also, another thing that you can do is, I personally like doing this for more brands, but you can get that image embedded on a press release. So, for example, if it is a logo of a brand, let's say I was doing this for the NerdWallet brand, right? I would actually embed this on a press release, and then with the actual alt text like NerdWallet logo or whatever the case may be, and that will help improving rankings like seriously well as well. So try doing some of that stuff and you will see an improvement. How much should I charge for an SEO client? Am I charged too little? I'm going to assume that was meant to say, am I charging too little? By the way, some of the questions were sent in via Twitter. Some were also sent in via my emails. So hence why they're all on a Notion. But how much should I charge for a client? Am I charging too little? So I don't. I'll give you an example, right? Because I take on some clients, not everybody, but recently I actually had somebody. Somehow they got through the loops, and they got on a call with me, and they were asking me like, can I decrease the prices for the actual SEO? And the simple answer is no. And if I was to decrease my prices, for example, just so you guys understand, there would be something I wouldn't be able to deliver, whether it is the link building side of stuff, whether it is content, whether it is technical SEO, whether it's the actual reporting to the client. So it's very simple for me to turn a client down and say, no, I can't work with you. Because let's say, for example, if I've quoted for this website 5,000 a month or 10,000 a month, there's a reason I've quoted that. Whether it might be lacking a lot of technical SEO issues, it might be lacking on-page SEO issues. They might have been already working with another SEO agency. I might need to go in and clean up their mess. So I typically don't lower my rates, but that's mainly because I've got the team, I've got the experience, etc. behind me. So to answer your question, I don't think that any price is too little for SEO, as long as the one caveat to that is as long as you're actually providing a good service. Like, for example, if you are quoting somebody, let's say 5K, and you're only uploading one article and building one backlink, they're probably going to get pissed off, the client. So yeah, like, as long as you actually have the know-how and the how to do SEO correctly, and you are delivering a really good result, whether it's, I don't know, 50 articles you're uploading to the website, and I don't know, 20 backlinks you're building for the actual customer, then you can charge whatever you want, if that makes sense. There isn't really a right or wrong to your quote, and obviously as long as it makes sense. Don't just go and charge clients at 20K and not actually deliver anything. But just bear that in mind. I don't think that there's a right or wrong for charging clients as long as you're actually delivering a good service and a good product. Does tiered link building work? Yes, it does. I actually know the person that asked this, and um, the there's obviously some people that say that tiered link building doesn't work, and the reason why they say that is because they cheaped out on the tier two links. Now, I hear this a lot. I get in a lot of debates about, does tiered link building work? Does it not work? Is it as good as what people say they are? I can guarantee that any of the harder industries, so gambling, pharma, CBD, adult websites, they all do tiered link building. Like when you get to the upper levels of difficulty, you need to be doing tiered link building. But the one caveat is if you cheap out on the tiered link building, it won't work. So what I mean by cheaping out is if you're doing like Fiverr gigs, GSA blasts, um, Money Robot, anything like that as tier two links, don't, because you're not going to see a result. Like what I do for tiered links, I'll show you guys exactly. And again, a little bit of a plug to one of my own companies, but the reason why I recommend this service is because I personally use it. If I never used this, I wouldn't recommend it to you guys. So that's just me. Tier two links on Searcheroo, they're $30 a pop. Go and build, I don't know, 2 or 3 to each guest post or niche edit that you have previously built. I guarantee you will see results. They aren't PBNs before anybody asks. They are niche edits, and what we may basically do is we make certain that tiered links actually do have power. And the reason for that is because if you were to go and get a guest post, let's say you got a guest post on Forbes, let's say, um, Forbes, the domain has level. However, the actual specific page is brand new, so Google doesn't trust that page. So the quickest way to get Google to trust that page, guess what, is building good links. So you should be doing tiered link building as much as you possibly can. Like what I mentioned, everybody in gambling, everybody in CBD, they're all doing tiered link building. And it is working very, very well. What I typically like to do is I like to look at what's working in the harder industries, like the gamblings of the world, like the CBDs of the world, and replicate that on a very much easier SEO campaign. So if I'm trying to rank for, let's say, plumbers in Wyoming, I always use that example, but that's like a really easy keyword. You should be ranking that relatively quickly. This would be a strategy that I would be looking at doing. I would be looking at building tier two links to my existing backlink profile, and it will definitely help. How can I rank my Google Business profile higher? I done a video on this yesterday, but just to recap, the video that I done yesterday, it was a 25-point checklist. Don't buy reviews. That's number one that I would probably say. Then try to get people to leave reviews as much as you possibly can. So like the reviews is a very, very clear ranking signal to Google. So if you can get quality reviews, then do it. If you are an established business, go and send out email blasts. Go and upload as many photos, videos to your Google Business profile. Do as much of that as you possibly can. Obviously, list your services. If you are a service-based business, let's say you are a lawyer, make certain that you have all of your services listed on the Google Business profile, and you actually have a dedicated page built on your actual website as well, like SEO optimize the content, and then it is very much clear as day to Google what you do and what your services are. Replying to reviews as well helps big time as well. But yeah, that's just a very quick recap. Go and watch my video yesterday. I think it was like 20 minutes long. And that will give you a 25-point checklist on everything you need to do from start to finish on how to rank your Google Business profile. So I believe that was the last question. There wasn't that many this week, but if you guys do want your questions answered, leave your questions down below, and I will be doing this once a week. It's actually quite nice to do this. It's quite an easier video. Um, and yeah, as always, please remember to leave a like. And if you want a free 15-minute growth strategy call with myself, make sure to check the link down below or check out casualdash.com. Thanks.